Hey everyone, FOCALRHYTHMS here. This is my list for my 10 favorite songs to come out in 2018. Yep, still on that list week bullshit on the third month of the next year. Oh, don't worry, this is just grape juice. Definitely not wine. I wouldn't want to be drinking wine while the sun's still up. That might mean I have a drinking problem. I already have enough problems. I know it's pretty late into the next year now, but I already had this list, so deal with it. Number 10 on the list, I have Don't You Know by Duran Jones and The Indications. The Indications help with that feeling that many of us have missed out on the time their music emulates. Their sound is so authentic of that time, but grounded in the present. I was impressed to find out that their drummer was the singer on a few of their tracks from their last album, and I actually enjoy his voice as much as Duran's. Their self-titled album was a great listen all the way through, and this next one should be too if it measures up to this song. Number 9, I have Listening In by Dr. Dog. I first fell in love with Dr. Dog after a friend had recommended them to me years ago. I was immediately drawn to their 60s and 70s pop styles with a lo-fi analog sound. Couple that with a tripped out song thrown in here and there, it would be hard for me not to love this band. Although individual songs off their last couple albums haven't jumped out at me, this one really had a lot of appeal to me. I think part of what draws me into this song is the effects sprinkled in that really lend themselves to the style of music that Dr. Dog plays. If you listen to their discography, you can tell that they've taken something they were on point with and expanded on it, using some sound experimentation that just works with their sound and doesn't take away from the song. I think it was a great choice to pick as one of the singles leading up to their last album, Critical Equation. Number 8, I have Sucker's Prayer by The Decemberists. God, that title is a mouthful. The Decemberists are another 60s style band, but with more of a folk sound. I'll be honest, I'd almost completely forgotten about this band for the last few years, even though they have been putting out music pretty consistently. This song came up on my Discover Weekly, and I immediately recognized the lead singer's distinct voice. This uplifting sounding. I noticed that I noticed that grape juice doesn't stain your lips as much as Cabernet Sauvignon. This uplifting sounding melancholy ballad is just that. There's something about a song that sounds happy and positive, but the lyrics reveal it to be the opposite that really does it for me. Plus the chorus is really catchy and had me instantly singing along. Number 7, I have How by Clairo. Clairo? Not sure how you pronounce her name. I think it's pronounced Clairo. Besides hearing her on a couple features, I only recently started listening to Clairo's own work. Everything I've heard so far has a love or romance theme. The production quality sounds very raw and stripped down, which builds on the personal and vulnerable vibe of the words sung. You ever want to feel like you have a mouthful of marbles? Try saying vulnerable while you're drinking your juice. If you've read or heard anything about her lack of transparency about her connections to the industry or the music industry, and how that could be conflicting with the appearance and approach of being an independent and more relatable artist, I would say don't let that stop you from listening to her. If you're talking about music, the quality, although subjective, should come first. This is a really short track, but I keep repeating it along with some others off of this EP. I really vibe with what I've heard, and I'll be on the lookout for more of her work. Number 6 is KLUTZ by Aesop Rock. New York rapper Aesop Rock was one of my introductions to underground hip hop way back in high school. If you've never listened to him, he's in a league of his own with how lyrically dense his songs are. His fictional stories tie in with similes and personal experiences that make his songs catch me off guard, even though I've listened to them many times before. This track hits hard with a lumbering beat and bass that is coupled with that classic boom bap, which had me hooked off top. Aesop knows how to write a beat, which is impressive, again, considering how dense his lyrics are. Like most of his tracks, this just adds more to the replay value. Aesop rock, still on it. Where are we at on this shit? We done yet? Still number 5. Number 5, I have BAYBAY by Deem Spencer. BAYBAY. My first exposure to Deem Spencer was a couple years ago with the video for his song Soap. I was impressed with the somber lyrics, instrumentals, and tone of that video. I was disappointed there was only a single EP from him at the time and had my fingers crossed for more to come. Soon after, released his second EP, We Think We Alone, with a generous runtime of 22 minutes. At only 21 years old, his output is pretty respectable, especially considering the quality in my opinion. So with this song, Deem's lines are very poetic and reflective. Many of his bars have a soft and tired delivery, balanced with a soulful and partially sung chorus. Part of me feels like I can connect to so many of the words spoken in his songs, which adds another level of intimacy to his delivery. There's something very powerful about the raw emotions and thoughts expressed.
I can't pretend I know what I'm doing as long as I do it.
Sounds like a reaction to the societal expectation of men to be confident and have the right answer, or if not, at least act like you do. Having the lyrics matched with such an emotionally provoking instrumental works perfectly. The light keys trickling throughout with pitch bends in the synth that sound like they're swaying with some sort of internal struggle. I feel like at the minimum, anyone who listens to Deem will have some level of appreciation, and if you connect with him on any level, it makes for a very special listen. Ooh, first try. Not really, that's like the 10th time that I've done that. Number 4, we got LIL MUFUKUZ by Dabrye featuring Doom. Whoa, come on now. Come on now, where this going? Shit. Fucking page up and down. Straight up, I don't know who Dabrye is, but anything with Doom's name on it, I'm gonna check out. Besides the odd remix here and there, we really haven't heard much from Doom the past year or so. Following this single, we did hear a fair amount of him on the Czarface meets Metalface LP, and there are some legit bars on that album. But I think I can safely say I'm with other Doom fans in saying we want another full-on Doom album. This track is more Doom than I would have expected or even asked for. What he has contributed to the rap game already, anything else is just us being greedy. So with this track, as his style goes, the intro and outro are a sample from who knows where, but it sounds creepy as fuck. The beat is ominous and lingering. The lyrics are of an elder putting everyone in place. It's a mean track that makes me optimistic for a possible album from one of the best MCs. Number 3, I have Last Fall by JONWAYNE. Beatmaker turned lyricist JONWAYNE is one of my favorite MCs of recent. Despite his first rap album coming out in 2013, I had only known about his instrumental album Bowser until discovering rap album 2 next. I'm going to the future for this shit. until discovering Rap Album 2 last year. I was impressed with the consistency and quality on every one of his songs. The chorus, even though singing about lack of self-love, is really infectious. I don't think anyone would be able to resist how the beat hits with a classic hip-hop drum pattern, and the synth is kind of gloomy, which makes for an interesting balance. Oh, my eyes are dying. I love how revealing the lyrics seem in this song, and while dealing with personal struggles, he keeps it humble with lines like, "I've been blessed with the room to stress shit." I definitely recommend checking out this song along with the rest of his work. Number 2, I have With Love. Nope, that's not the name of that song. Number 2, I have Amadel with Love by Gus Dapperton. Ooh. Ooh. All right. The hell out of here, actually trying to film a video. We're talking about Gus Dapperton right now. This shit on Do Not Disturb. After first hearing his 2017 single, Prune, You Talk Funny, I've been on the lookout for more from Gus Dapperton, and I've been very pleased with anything else that's come up from him. Drenched in wet, soulful, 80s sounding synth, Gus has an eccentric look and feel. His voice is distinct, unique, and with very appealing inflections. I mean, that's just my opinion though. This is a fun sounding song you can move to while at the same time having a sort of sad feeling to it. Overall, he's just a refreshing artist that I'm very excited to see where he goes with a full album if and when he releases one. Number 1 on the list. This is top tier music right here. This is it. This is my favorite song from last year. So you better listen to this shit. Actually, I don't really care if you don't listen to this. You're just missing out. You're 100% wrong if you don't listen to this song. And my favorite song to come out in 2018 is Underneath the Moon by Gardens and Villa. It's been over 3 years since Garden and Villa's last album, and I wasn't quite sure what to expect with whatever would come next. I can't overstate how much I loved their first 2 albums. The pacing and range of emotions worked so well that whenever finishing either of them, I would usually be pretty eager for another playthrough. Unfortunately, with their 3rd LP, I would find myself usually waiting for it to finish about halfway through. I will say there were a couple songs I really enjoyed off of Music for Dogs, but overall I just didn't vibe with it as a whole. I don't want to get into a whole review of it here though. This new single had me falling in love with Gardens and Villa all over again. It's like they remembered so much of what I groove on when I listened to Dunes or their surf titled. They are not a surf rock band. It's like they remembered so much of what I groove on when I listened to Dunes or their self-titled LP. It's like they hit me up and started flirting with me. And hard too. I know you like that dancey shit, boy. I know you want to feel that funky bass line. I remember you like when I throw a little pan flute in there. The video for this song is really funny too, so definitely check that out as well. I'll make sure to put a link for it along with the other songs in the description. So those are my 10 favorite songs for last year. I had a ton of them that I had to try to sort through, so it wasn't easy. But if you enjoyed this video, definitely hit the like button, subscribe if you want to see more, and I'm off the list week bullshit for now. If I put out any more videos, I will try to put out an album review of a specific album, or hopefully I can get my thoughts together and put out some content that is outside of music. Thanks for watching the video. If you watched the whole thing, I really appreciate it. You're the best. Go drink some juice. Number 1 favorite song to come out in 2018 is, what song did I pick? Soap. Aesop knows how to write a beat, which is impressive again considering how lyrically dense his lyrics are. His dense lyrics. His lyrics are dense. Aesop knows how to write a beat, which is impressive again considering how dense his lyrics are. That's it.